Hello and welcome to Week in One, where we take a look at news that made headlines this week. I'm Michelle Craig. Let's get straight into it. Former Acting Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane has been arrested. He appeared in the Johannesburg Commercial Crimes Court on Friday morning. Phahlane faces fraud and corruption charges relating to an 86 million rand tender. Last year, his fraud, money laundering and corruption case was withdrawn in the Specialised Commercial Crimes Court in Pretoria. In that case, it's alleged that Phahlane and his wife Beauty had been given vehicles by car dealer Durant Snyman. The cars were allegedly paid for by a police contractor who in turn allegedly received billions in forensic contracts. Now, there's been another twist in the battle between the police minister and police watchdog boss. Bheki Cele refused to extend Robert McBride's contract, and Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee has backed that decision. McBride went to court when his term wasn't extended.
Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee spent hours grappling with Robert McBride's conduct, and while he says the allegations against him are nothing but a political smear campaign against him, the ANC in Parliament was having none of it. The committee found that Bheki Cele was correct in not extending or renewing his 5-year term, as there was an extreme breakdown of trust between the minister and McBride. His security clearance had no longer been upheld, it had lapsed, and that there was an allegation that was upheld of labour harassment against McBride.
IPAD is one of government department as contained in the IPAD Act. It means that the law says the executive director of IPAD must report to the minister of police. Must, it says, uses the words must, not may. That's the breakdown of relationship, means that there is no reporting that goes to the minister, and therefore there is no oversight.
The DA boycotted the adoption of the final report, saying it was nothing but a sham and that it suits the ANC to paint McBride as a loose cannon because he's trying to expose corruption in police ranks and in the ruling party. Anna Kalasen, Parliament.
Staying with Parliament, Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane has survived a DA attempt to remove her. On Tuesday, the majority of members on the Justice Portfolio Committee refused to recommend an inquiry into her fitness to hold office. The DA had initiated the process after a court slammed Mkhwebane's findings on the ABSA CX matter and her recommendations on the Reserve Bank's mandate. Anna Kalasen once again.
The report found it would be premature to probe the public protector as she awaits the outcome on an appeal in a costs order that was made against her.
Our term as the 5th Parliament is coming to an end within a very short space of time. But as of now, we think as a committee have resolved that it is very much premature to expedite or to carry on with the process of her removal.
Despite being fierce critics of Busisiwe Mkhwebane in the past, the EFF voted against holding an inquiry into her fitness to hold office.
EFF doesn't play a man, it plays a ball. We don't say that if you did something which we were doubting you, we ban you permanently. That's what we don't do that as EFF. As EFF, we check what you are doing in the present, in the past, and we monitored.
But the DA's MP, Glynis Breitenbach, is furious. She says the report is a sham, she'll be producing her own minority report, and the party may take the matter further. The public protector serves a non-renewable 7-year term. Busisiwe Mkhwebane took office in 2016. Anna Kalasen, Parliament.
Former President Jacob Zuma shielded prosecutors Nomgcobo Jiba and Lawrence Mkhwebi despite overwhelming evidence of wrongdoing against them. That's contained in a last-minute submission by Freedom Under Law at the Mogoro inquiry. That inquiry is looking into their fitness to hold office. Lawyers for the two are calling allegations they undermined high-profile investigations a conspiracy theory. Govan Whittles was at the inquiry. He filed this report.
More claims that senior prosecutors Nomgcobo Jiba and Lawrence Mkhwebi ran amok at the NPA, and they allegedly didn't have to watch their backs. Freedom Under Law says former President Jacob Zuma protected the pair from an inquiry like this one.
President Zuma and Mr. Abrams remained steadfastly unmoved by the judgment. And that heightens the damaging perception problem associated with both advocates Jiba and Mkhwebi.
This submission enraged Jiba's advocate, who objected to Justice Yvonne Mogoro.
Ms. Jiba is now accused of being protected by Mr. Abrams and the former president. Now, what is that designed to do? That is designed to influence your thinking.
Mkhwebi is meanwhile denied that he helped Zuma by withdrawing the charges against ex-crime intelligence boss Richard Mdluli. His advocate says Zuma's reliance on Mkhwebi's decision ahead of the ANC conference is a figment of someone's imagination.
The conference where President Zuma was apparently seeking assistance was in December of 2011. So by the time the conference arrived, General Mdluli had not been set free from any prosecution. So any favor to President Zuma in whatever form that might have been, as per the narrative, has not occurred.
Justice Mogoro's panel will now consider all the evidence and submit a report to President Cyril Ramaphosa on the 9th of March. Govin Whittles, Centurion.
Fikile Mbalula shouldn't pretend he had no pre-existing relationship with the Guptas. That's according to former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel while testifying at the state capture inquiry. Mbalula allegedly told an ANC-NEC meeting that the Guptas informed him of his appointment as Sports Minister rather than then-President Jacob Zuma. Samkele Maseko reports.
This was the first, to the best of my knowledge, the first confirmation which was in the form of I'm saying a very emotional statement by then Minister Mbalula about how he'd been appointed.
Trevor Manuel is accusing Jacob Zuma of handing over his presidential rights to the Gupta family.
Fikile Mbalula, who sort of who triggered the entire discussion.
The former ANC-NEC member says Fikile Mbalula gave an emotional testimony at an ANC-NEC meeting in August 2011 about the Guptas. But Manuel's hinting Mbalula and the influential family knew each other better than they've been letting on.
If you didn't have any relationship, my question would be, why did you go? What was said to you as part of the invitation to go to wherever that exchange took place? And I think that it's fair to presume a pre-existing relationship.
Former Communications Minister Sphiwe Nyandas told the Commission he was astounded when Zuma and the NEC didn't react to Mbalula's confession.
All the officials were in that meeting, made any comment about that. But of course, perhaps the owners would have been on the person at whom these allegations were being made, because the person who bore responsibility for appointments to cabinet is the president.
Yes. In a letter, Mbalula says he wasn't able to meet the 22nd of February deadline to respond to Manuel and is asking for an extension. Samkele Maseko, Johannesburg.
Coming up, angry residents demand justice for the death of a Limpopo man, Toriso Temane. Those details shortly.